I wanted to record and share with you how I prepare for the inspect and reflect sessions. So we are going to inspect and reflect on eBay's Evo design system. Usually the way how I start is I activate the Infa Chrome Extension, and there is a way to create a new board. So let's create a new board now. And as you saw, I created the board within the eBay website, not the documentation, but the actual product, because Infa is focused more on the usage rather than documentation of the design system. But you can also document things here as well and have API to pull this data with all the external links. So let's get started. So now that I created a board, you will be able to see that the board domain right now is defined as ebay.com. And now that we created the board, I also synchronize it to the cloud, making sure that all AI features will be working for it. So now that we have the board, let me go into the documentation website, and I can see that within the documentation, they have tokens, components. We're interested in tokens, right? They have grid view and list view. I will be more interested in the list view because they have a description and I would like to pull that as well. So let me select the element here, select this specific section and say, hey, help me to import all those components that you will see on our documentation website. Please use the title of the component as the component title, the description as a note as well. And please save the link that you will see for each component family as external link. If there is a way to pull the image, please also push this image into the description, into the notes, so that I will be able to see the preview of the component. And now that we shared all these instructions, let me send it and see here. As you can see here, it starts with Markdown. So it will pull the Markdown out of the selected element. And now that it has all the information, it will proceed with creating all these components. As you can see here, it created 5 of them. I'll say, great, please continue and do that for all of the components. But let me double check what's the format here. I can see the badge, I can see the description, I can see the external link. Yes, this is great. Let's just proceed with everything else. So the AI, for some reason, it decides to take only 5 components at a time. I guess you can ask it to take a bigger batch of components. I'll just say to continue. We can see that the carousel is already done, so it will pull some others as well. Okay, great. And now it's only 2 last components. Okay, let's dive deeper into our eBay. And now that we have all those components, I can check all the previous here. And as you can see here, it supports the Markdown. It pulled all the image and it also saved the link to the documentation. And now that I'm here, I can actually, if I would like to, I can put more details here if needed. It also supports the Markdown, so it's pretty easy. Maybe let's do a quick test here. I'll just select this information. I'll just add it here. As you can see here, yes, it took the HTML and transferred into the Markdown, and now you have these things available much more faster. You can just add things where it can just copy from the clipboard and paste it as a Markdown, so it supports all these things here as well. Okay, now that we have those things, let me start tagging. Let me go into the product. Let me create a one page here and say home page. And as you can see here, there is a page URL that you can define. There's page variables as well. This is much more advanced. I will not do that, but I will capture the screenshot of the page here. And let me save it. Great. So now that we have all of that, let me start creating the components and start with simple stuff. Let's start with buttons. The search button, let's just start that, and I can select this element. And as you can see here, it will capture the code capture and it will do the screenshot for, I will say search button on the home page. Another interesting thing, and this is more advanced, the XPath selector, this is the place where it will find your element in the DOM structure. You can do some things more advanced here. As you can see, it also provides different options for the smart XPath, for the XPath options that you can select. In some cases, if it will find ID, this is like very smart XPath that will try to like select specific thing on the page based on the code capture. But there are also some other things, class-based XPath. Let me see, they have GH search button primary. Data eBay UI, it's empty. That might be a good parameter to select for the XPath so that next time if they are using those kind of things, it will able to find and select it on the page itself, right? My favorite approach here is to use data component or data component name, but I guess they have their own stuff as well. Let me check other things. They have GH search button. I'm not sure why it's GH. Maybe that's another design system. Okay, let's just focus right now on absolute XPath. Let me just add it right here. And now that we have these components, you can see here the screenshot and the code capture is available right here. Let's take a look into their documentation and see. Yeah, I feel like it's the same component, is just coming from other places. Let me go into their React components into the storybook and let's see if the button that we found is actually coming from the design. And what I can do here is I will go into the inspect mode and we'll check what kind of classes do they have. Interesting. They don't have GH classes the same way how they have that within the actual product. Maybe it is related to the fact that this is not the library. Maybe they have the skin library or Marco. I'm not sure. Okay, let's go back and they have a search bar. So let's see if they have something similar to the search. They have a search field. Let's go into the documentation and see what kind of things do they have. It looks very similar to the one that they have on the homepage. So I feel like we can just go and start tagging it. Okay, here's the search field and I will just click here and we'll select this element. In some cases, as you saw, I was able to select only the left part, but by expanding the code, you will actually be able also to go up in the DOM hierarchy. So if I will do that, as you can see, now I'm able to go up or down. This is the right, I will retake the screenshot, making sure that we have the right screenshot here. Search on the home page. They also have GH search wrap. Yeah, let me select this one. Yes, okay. I would really want to see if they have something called a drop down. Okay, action bar. Let's check. Okay, that's what they call action bar. Is that the action bar? I don't think so. So now let me go into the other page and I will create that as well. This is like a category page. There is a way how you can create variables within URL and provide a regex pattern that will match. The idea behind it is that if you have all those different categories, but you don't want to create a page for each of them, you can just define the pattern. Then based on the URL, it will understand that this is the category page instead of just electronics or any other categories. So this is the way how you can create dynamic pages. But let me keep it simple for now. I will just do the screenshot and I will add this page. Great. Now that we have that, let me check what we have in subcategory. I will go into the headphones, for example. Okay, I will create subcategory page. We'll take the screenshot. We'll add this page. Great. And now if I will go into specific product, let me create a product page as well. Great. Now that we have that, I feel like we can also add breadcrumbs. I can see them here. And again, I will use the same format. We'll see same approach. I'll just go up in a DOM structure and then we'll retake the screenshot so that we will have that available here. Yeah. Maybe this level of component will be a good representation and I will just call it breadcrumb on the product page. They have a specific class here called breadcrumb role navigation. We can define this in more details, but I will keep it simple for now. Okay, now that we have this component, let's focus on others. Let me go into subcategory page that we saw before and take a look into other components that they have. So let me go into the subcategory page here And I feel like this will be a good thing for the action bar, because this is the actual thing that we can tag. I'm not sure what's the actual action bar. I feel like it is the whole thing. So let me just select that. I will go upper. Yes, if I will go upper in the DOM structure, it breaks, meaning that it's not one element, it's not one component. I feel like that. Okay, let me redo the screenshot. I hope this is the action bar, and they call it BRW controls root. So let me select that. That might be a better selector in this case. And yes, we have the screenshot, we have everything. Let me also double check, because it's not clear if this is the actual action bar or not. So let me select this element and I will just go upward, take the screenshot. Yeah, they call it BRW refinement root. Let me also rename this one. Okay, great. Now that we have action bar, let me check the other pages. Maybe on the category page, we will also be able to find something here. No, okay. I'm not sure if we will have action bar here actually. Great. For the alert notice, is there something here that we can select? I feel like another thing, another page that we can create is the profile page. Let me capture the screenshot here, add a page. Great. Now that we have, I can see tabs. Let me just tag this tab. Again, I will take a look into what's the right level of the tabs here. It's called M top nav bottom, and then the next one is M page tabs. I feel like M page tabs will be the right one. Okay, tabs on profile page. Yes, I will select this one. Okay, great. Now that we have tabs available right here, let's think about other items that we could select. Can that be called as an action bar? Let me add it and then we could discuss if this is related to the action bar or not. Okay, great. Now that we have that, let's also add another button here. Search your orders. Let's check if there is a specific class. It's called search button. Okay, let me add that. Great. And now we can also add the search bar, the search field. This is another variation of it. Let me create those sub pages as well, so we have some. And what you can actually do here, if you would like to move things as a dependency, you can actually do that and move all those things into the sub pages of the profile page. Now that I have all the components here and also I've tagged some of them, I'm able to quickly see what kind of component variations do I have. In some cases, things to discuss, maybe things to deprecate. Maybe there are some deviations that we would like to improve in the future. But as you can see here, the screenshot and the code capture helps you to capture that. And you can actually go into a specific page and find this specific element that you tagged before. So it will save everything. And also based on your XPath, as you can see here, the XPath is ID BRW refinement root. Like every time when it will find the same XPath within the DOM structure, it will highlight it here. So this is the way, if you will do the tagging properly, you will be able to recover it even if the updates are happening. Now that I have all of them, I can actually turn on the discovery mode and see what kind of components I've tagged before. So all of them are available here. And by adding more links to FigJam or Storybook or to other things, I can connect the dots within all those components. So now that we have all the components tagged, let's do the fun part. So I will go into the FigJam board. So now that I have all of those things, let me just quickly import that. There is an Infa Figma extension where you can select the board. If you have a pro account, you will be able to connect it through API, and I can just click on import pages. And now, as you can see here, it imported all the pages that I created before. And the cool part is that it will organize everything by the domains. And it will also create this kind of tree view with all the dependencies saying like the profile page is the main one. And here are the sub pages of the profile page section. The same thing that we have right here in the profile page section. So now that we have all of those screens imported, let me also import components, and by clicking import all, I will able to quickly pull the screenshot of the component that I had and the code capture. And also, as you can see here, it will actually tell me where exactly this component is located. This is the way how you can actually see all the components and do the inventorization, make some decisions around what kind of things you would like to add as part of the design system and what kind of things you would like to remove. Happy tagging!